Hello, Christopher here, and welcome back to the Patriot Report. When the Founding Fathers wrote the Bill of Rights, they knew the government could become a threat to the very freedoms the American Revolution had been fought to secure. So, they gave us the Fifth Amendment, a powerful shield against abuse of power and one of the bedrock principles of our constitutional republic. The Fifth Amendment is part of the Constitution's Bill of Rights and reads, "No person shall be held to answer for a capital, or otherwise infamous crime, unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb. Nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property, without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use, without just compensation." Let's break that down into 5 key protections, and why they matter so much. Grand jury indictment. Serious charges require oversight. If someone is charged with a serious federal crime, they can't just be hauled into court. There must first be an indictment by a grand jury, a group of everyday citizens who review the evidence and decide if there's even enough to justify a trial. Why it matters. It keeps the government from using criminal charges as a political weapon or a tool of intimidation. The people act as a check before the state can drag someone into a courtroom. Double jeopardy. You can't be tried twice for the same crime. This clause protects individuals from being tried again after an acquittal or conviction. Once a legal decision is made, the government doesn't get to try again just because it didn't like the outcome. Why it matters. It prevents the state from endlessly prosecuting someone out of spite or to drain them financially. Without it, innocent people could be harassed or worn down into false confessions or unjust plea deals. Self-incrimination. You have the right to remain silent. We've all heard it in crime shows, you have the right to remain silent. This comes from the Fifth Amendment. You don't have to testify against yourself in a criminal case. Why it matters. It ensures that confessions are voluntary, not coerced by force, fear, or psychological pressure. In a republic, no one should have to help the government punish themselves. This is also where the idea of pleading the fifth comes from, refusing to answer questions that might incriminate you. Due process, fair procedures before punishment. This is a big one. The government cannot take your life, liberty, or property without fair legal procedures. That means lawful arrests, impartial trials, a chance to defend yourself, and access to the courts. Why it matters. Due process is the cornerstone of justice. It ensures that the government follows rules, respects rights, and can't act on a whim. In a constitutional republic, the rule of law, not the rule of rulers, must prevail. Takings clause. Eminent domain and just compensation. If the government needs to take private property for public use, like for a road or a school, it must compensate the owner fairly. Why it matters. Property rights are deeply tied to freedom. Without them, the government could seize land or homes without consequences. This clause balances public needs with individual rights, a key part of a healthy republic. So, why is the Fifth Amendment so important to a constitutional republic? Because it stands in direct opposition to tyranny. In monarchies or dictatorships, people can be imprisoned without charges, retried over and over, or forced into confessions under torture. The government can seize land without paying a dime. These are the very abuses the founders fought to end. The Fifth Amendment ensures power is not unchecked. It reminds the government, you must follow the rules. You do not own the people, you serve them. It reinforces the idea that in America, liberty is not granted by the government, it is protected from the government. In closing, the Fifth Amendment is more than just legal language, it's a safeguard against injustice. It protects individuals from arbitrary power and ensures fairness, accountability, and respect for human dignity. A constitutional republic thrives when rights like those in the Fifth Amendment are honored, not just in courts, but in culture. We must remain vigilant, informed, and willing to defend those rights, not just for ourselves, but for future generations. Thanks for listening. I'm Christopher, and this has been the Patriot Report. Stay informed, stay free,